Hello, you wonderful soul. We live in turbulent, even accelerated times, and it may be that some find it hard to keep up with these changes, and life can literally feel like it's flying apart at the seams. Or it may be that you are able to experience a so-called turbo accelerator with ideas and projects. In both cases, this is due to immense cosmic influences to which we all are subject and seek to elevate our consciousness. The reason why this is the case and the factors you need to consider to make good use of this dynamic time will be addressed here. Exciting topic. Stay tuned. I'm Ralph Riedel. I've followed shamanism for almost 20 years, initiated into the Inca and Blackfoot traditions. For this special time, a shamanic prophecy comes to mind, which says that time will accelerate enormously, similar to a stream turning into a rushing river that sweeps everything along with it. And whoever tries to hold on to the shore will be pulled down by the current. All we can do is to move into the middle of this stream, surrender to the current, and see where it takes us. This prophecy has occupied my thoughts for years, without initially knowing the true significance of its meaning. And now, this time has come, and I interpret it as meaning that we are allowed to let go of all the old, outdated things, that is, the old life and worldview, and not hold on to anything that is not beneficial for the new time. And what it means, I'll delve into later. This year, the cosmic influences have become more intense, raising our vibrations significantly, and new perspectives, insights, and ideas can emerge in the process. It's possible that your worldview, which is your reality, may be greatly shaken. Now, let me offer you an example here, applied to our previous life. Let's assume you're in a healthy relationship and suddenly you find out your partner is cheating. Or let's say you are employed by a humanitarian organization where you wholeheartedly support and uphold your values. And suddenly it is revealed that the funds are being embezzled and people are not really being helped. You are then faced, so to speak, with a new truth, with a new perspective, which ultimately leads to substantial changes where there is no turning back because nothing is as it was before. And exactly the same can mean many different things for all of us on various levels when we have a new perception. For example, not allowing ourselves to be manipulated anymore, being more connected to our hearts, and having the courage to stand up for our beliefs, for what you believe is right. And then it can lead to significant far-reaching changes that you or we all had not previously planned. So what does this signify for our body and mind to be subjected to these alterations at present? Imagine we are all electromagnetically charged energy beings. And whether you are inclined towards spirituality, shamanism, or not, it doesn't matter at all, because all beings on Earth are electromagnetically charged beings. To illustrate this, we are exposed to tides and consequently to the moon cycles and naturally also to the Earth's magnetic field. This is our magnetic reference, very important for us. You may also know days when you feel sluggish, lethargic, have little drive, and maybe even feel emotionally downcast. There could potentially be a noticeable increase in feelings of self-doubt, overwhelm, or helplessness, for example, or simply a feeling of not being able to make it. That can simply come up more and more during these times. In the same way, we are also exposed to electrical cosmic influences, such as the sun, and thus connected to solar storms, which are particularly intensified on Earth this year. And we actually experienced that a few days ago. It's possible that as a result, feelings of nervousness, aggression, restlessness, insomnia, or even unsettling dreams may occur. While on the other hand, a connection to higher realms can also be established, allowing you to access new ideas, messages, and insights. Yes, certainly, we're also exposed to more influences that greatly challenge us in this time, but also aim to support us. And these energies are benevolent, even if we may not want to admit it at first. And our body and psyche must constantly adapt to them. On one hand, this can be very exhausting, and on the other hand, it can propel us tremendously in our development. So how can we deal with this concretely? The key lies in the phrase, "In calmness lies strength," or "keep calm." And I know, at first glance, this may sound cliché, but that's exactly what matters right now. And there I would like to give you an image. Imagine our life is accelerated like a spinning top that spins faster and faster. And life on the outside represents the outer edge of the spinning top with tremendous speed. And if you constantly focus on this outer side, it is quite normal that you will eventually feel overwhelmed, exhausted, or perhaps even disoriented. And that is why it is of fundamental importance to repeatedly withdraw yourself back to the center of the whirl, to come into your own center, and then begin to rest within yourself. This is a process that we all have to learn, and unfortunately, most people have not learned it and increasingly lose themselves more and more in the external world. And I've had numerous conversations where I was informed that they actually don't know who they really are or what they desire. Yes, and I am aware of that very well also. And it is entirely normal if you consistently find yourself on the outside of the whirlwind. The key is to practice meditation daily, to observe the thoughts and feelings that arise within you without making judgments or evaluating yourself. And that's what many people do, getting lost in these spirals of thought, always focusing more on the outside. And in the silence, it is all about the simple act of sitting with yourself, listening within, quieting the inner critic, and becoming the observer of your own thoughts and emotions. What emotions do I possess? What thoughts do I possess? Only to then realize that I am not my thoughts and that I am not my emotions either, but rather much more than that. And then you may also realize that in truth, you are the observer and can step behind yourself and gradually, from a place of calm, gently learn to deal with yourself in order to shape your everyday life from within. And not driven by compulsion or fear, which is then constantly sown externally. And that's why I always say, connect regularly with nature, with the earth, with the forest, and for example, specifically keep barefoot contact with the earth. Or you can even lie down on the ground. And what happens then is that your electromagnetic field realigns. The tension, when you have tension in your head, then decreases and your system calms down more and more. And feel free to comment on that below if you have done it a few times now. Maybe you have already done it before. How do you feel about it? Very important exercise, very simple but very effective. And all internal issues are currently being intensified. Both the issues that have been resolved, which is a positive thing, and also the issues that have not been resolved. And that is what then gets amplified during the time, and you will be confronted with it. In shamanism, it is said that it is the shadow or shadow themes, such as fear, not feeling good enough as you are, no longer being accepted or loved when you truly show yourself authentically on the outside. This can potentially lead to a sense of helplessness, being overwhelmed, or sometimes even a feeling of meaninglessness and lack of purpose. And that's precisely what needs to be examined within oneself, to sense what lies beneath the surface. Then we will all be pushed by these benevolent energies to detach ourselves from our old existence and free ourselves from all the false patterns residing within us that seek to ensnare you more and more. And I'd like to compare this to the image of the caterpillar and the butterfly. Yes, we're used to living as a caterpillar, just eating, sleeping, yes, and always ensuring there's enough food. This is of course transferable to our lives, that our life in this existence works just as we know it. And in this very special period, we discover ourselves in a stage of transformation, saying goodbye to our existence as a caterpillar, without truly understanding what it is like to be a butterfly. And everything old that no longer fits the butterfly dies during this phase of change. And all we can do is to trust that this process is good for us, even though it may be painful at times. And it may also be that during this time, you experience how your old life and your old consciousness connected to it also die off to some extent and begin to reshape themselves from within. And I would like to give you a little impulse, invite you, when you look outward, imagine that the life you still see externally is like a glimpse into the past. Because your consciousness from the past has shaped the life you currently observe externally. And now, in this new state of consciousness, you are in the process of creating a completely new life, originating from within yourself and emerging from the depths of your being. Yes, of course, it is true that everyone is at a different stage, and you are welcome to comment on that, as many may have been on the path of transformation for a while and may have already gone through various stages. Where you believe you are, where you find yourself at this moment. And this can inspire others when they read that others have also managed to go through this transformation process, to create a new life, and thereby to permanently anchor a new consciousness in their lives. Due to our heightened consciousness, namely our core essence, the butterfly undergoes formation and gradually emerges from the protective cocoon. Initially, yes, without ever having utilized its wings. And it is possible that initially it drains your energy, and progressively you start to extend your wings, and then, for the very first time, to soar. And now, just imagine you as a butterfly telling the other caterpillars about your transformation, about your new world full of excitement. No caterpillar will believe you because it only knows the old world. I also want to encourage you to create a space within yourself where you can imagine and, of course, give yourself permission to explore and dream, to lead a life as a butterfly. Whatever that means to you, whatever life you want to lead, from your heart, from your intuition, to gradually manifest your life on the outside, to come more and more into your self-confidence, to walk your own path, to show yourself more and more authentically on the outside. And by doing so, you also give others permission to do the same. And thus, we are creating more and more our new world when each person starts with themselves. Yes, those were my instincts on this subject. And if you liked this video, feel free to pass it along to others or share it with them. For more inspiration or insights into my daily routines, follow me on Instagram. Link is down in description. Until next time, see you. Ciao. Bye.